All right, we'll give this a try again, see if restarting the computer does anything. I literally have changed nothing. I can see equalizers moving. Should be getting sound, but what do I know? Yeah, test, test, test. Let me put, okay. So that's real weird. That's just a tech glitch because literally I'm 40 minutes into that stream, just doing my thing, didn't touch anything, just cut out on my mixer and everything. Sound looks fine. So I don't know if there was a glitch on YouTube's end or what there, but we're back in action now. So sorry about that. I will try to hope, or not try to hope. I will hope that won't happen again. I'll try to make sure that doesn't happen again. I did some testing to make sure that if you don't live stream for a while, everything's got to update. And I was like, we're golden. And then thinking 40 minutes into it, you would think, yeah, we're golden. So, unfortunately, I forgot the question I was answering. And someone did make me laugh when they're like, oh, big heater's after him. That's right, they're taking me down. So if you can remind me of that question I was just answering before we were muted. For now, I'll grab John Helldiver, please. I've got 36 fish tanks right now, and I'm manually changing water. Water change day is every month. Wait. Water change day is every month is 5 hours. Should I change to auto? If it's only taking you 5 hours once a month, I'd say no, you probably don't have to. When you replace water changes with automatic, you spend less time with your tanks, and I'm not sure that's always a good thing. It definitely is beneficial for the way I'm doing stuff, but there are pros and cons to making a big change like that. Could you repeat what you were talking about when pointing? Oh, yes. Okay. So we were talking about flow instead of having two heaters, having one and getting the flow going around. So we've got the intake here, and we've got the outflow in the corner, and it blows the water across to kind of bring it into the intake. And then I've got the CO2 injection kind of over there. And then, yeah, so all of this stuff that you see is actually plants just being super happy. So where I was going with that is if I put a heater over like where the CO2 was, the flow should be mixing it throughout the entire aquarium, so you shouldn't have to run two necessarily. With a properly designed flow pattern in your aquarium, you should be able to get away with one just fine. And then you have half as many chances for something to go wrong. But I do like that you went with 100-watt heaters. I much prefer that. I'd rather have two 100-watt heaters than one 200-watt heater if I was going down that. Yeah. Trying to think. I kind of messed up my mojo. The phone tap feature heaters. Yeah, so using the same, like, when you can use your phone to like pay for something at a credit card station, use that, is it NFC chip? Is that what it's called? NFC chip technology. And as long as it's out of the water, it works. I gotta be honest, it seems real gimmicky to me. Like, don't get me wrong, I sell my own crap. I'm my own salesman, but if there's a list of things to fix with heaters, adjusting the knob or clicking the button wasn't one of them. That's like trying to think of something that would be equally as useless. I don't know. I can't think of something, but it's just like, I mean, I guess, but it doesn't even work underwater. So it's like, like the reviews now, they're pretty split of like, this thing's dumb to this thing's the best thing ever. So a heater's a heater though. So let's see. To get back on track, try to catch my mind back up here. We do have a lot of products that I could show you guys. What do we got? Oh, so we launched a replacement sponges. So if you have a sponge that's worn on a sponge filter, you can replace it. If you have coarse and you want fine, we have those. If you have fine and you want coarse, we have those. If you want to try to stack them up and, do both on a double sponge filter, you could do that. So these things are available. So there's that. We also launched Easy Green in the the Costco size. That is the 2-liter here. Yep. So we got the 2-liter Costco size of that. Oh yeah. We also launched replacement parts. These are diaphragm. Well, it's more than just a diaphragm. It's basically the whole. What do we call them? I called them assemblies. It's the whole assembly to repair our pumps. So I've been working kind of hard to try and bring more repair products, bring more parts and things like that, so that part of the longevity thing. I mean, as a consumer of anything in the world, I'm always sad when it's like, oh, you don't make the part. I just got to buy the new one, huh? Like this thing broke, and now I just have to buy a new one. Okay, so I'm trying to be the company that I want out there of like, yeah, here's parts. Now I don't have every part for everything, I don't have the circuit boards, for instance, but things that would be a wear part, we're trying to carry more of it. And you got to design packaging and a product page and spin them up. I think we brought in, I don't know, 4,000 of these or something. So yeah, we're trying to add some of those parts. So on the website, there's actually a part section, and it might have intakes for different types of filters, and we're adding more of that. Like here's a weird one right now that we're playing with. Yeah, so we're gonna keep expanding that. So hopefully there's just more parts to replace things, which makes it go further for you. Where would I be able to get the fertilizer? Well, funny that you asked. www.aquariumcoop.com, or maybe one of our partner stores. We got like 250 of those around the country. That'd be another spot. If you want it, on the way, we can get it on the way for you tomorrow morning by ordering from our website. Might have mentioned this before, but the sound troubles. The great sound troubles of 2025. I was there. But I want to ask you, any progress on airstone cleaning via the Jewelry Ultrasonic Cleaner? No. I bought a big ol' one, and then I didn't do any more testing on it because it was the summer and I was working outside. So, have I made headway? No. Did I get some tools to help me make headway on it? Yes. Haven't done it yet, though, so I'm letting you down on that. Yeah. Is there still a decent amount of brine shrimp eggs available? No. That supply has been pillaged. There might be some. I think we've got. Do we have any left at the retail store? I was gonna say look for your local partner stores. I'll see if we even have any at our store. The math on it for us is real bad. Like, I had Randy run numbers of what would it take for us to get a year's worth. A year's worth of brine shrimp eggs, the current tariff rate, with the amount of freezers we need and everything. And I think the problem was it came out to like $190,000. And why we aren't pulling the trigger is if we were to order it and then the tariff changes, I don't want to go out of business. Like, brine shrimp eggs are amazing and I love them, but I'm not willing to bet the future of all my employees on it. And so if politically, economically, we just go, yeah, you thought it was 170, it's actually 340,000. I don't want to go and really struggle for the next 5 years because of one thing like that. And so, being that brine shrimp eggs we didn't make great money on to begin with, we are waiting to either A, have so much money laying in the bank accounts that it's not a risk, or B, hopefully tariffs to get a reprieve on those eggs. So that's where we're at with the brine shrimp eggs. We have been, we put some of the money into some parts and some other things. It's not like we're just not spending it. We're just spending it on like, okay, what's some other things that can be made quickly? And part of the reason why is a dry good product safer than a brine shrimp, for instance? Well, if let's say tomorrow, let's say we order $100,000 worth of stuff, and then the tariff is 50 grand, so we're at 150 grand, right? If tomorrow the tariff goes to 150%, which the number's been thrown around, And so now I would owe $250,000. It can sit there in a warehouse. Brine shrimp eggs have to be frozen the whole time. There's not a lot of warehouses just sitting around going, hey, we could take a whole cargo container full of brine shrimp eggs and let it sit here and not cost $1 billion. So that's why it's like, oof, like I hear you guys and I want it, but unfortunately, it's too risky for us to do it. So we're just not for now. So there's where we are. But I will say, Magic Small Fish Feed, great substitute. There's a lot of people raising discus, and one person was basically raising goldfish on it. There's more and more accounts of people just raising stuff and replacing brine shrimp with this. So we do have plenty of Magic Small Fish Feed. I do recommend that. I realize it is, I mean, I have it right here on my desk. I have a can. There's even eggs in here. Listen, ASMR brine shrimp eggs. All right, that didn't really work because, but yeah, they're in short supply, and I don't have the. I'm not. Here's what I'll say. I'm not gonna bet the future of our employees on the eggs. I'm not gonna take out a loan to do it. I'm not gonna do. It's not. Brine shrimp eggs are amazing, but they're not worth people's livelihoods, and so. If all we did was brine shrimp eggs, yeah, we'd have to. But we've got diversified products, and so we are going to focus on that until it makes sense. And then we will bring them in. Don't get me wrong. When it makes sense, there will be an avalanche of brine shrimp eggs coming. Like, we know you want it. We want it. Stores rely on it. Breeders rely on it. Dan's Fish uses it. Wait, that's actually, hold on. Dan's Fish does not use them from us, I don't think. But other wholesalers do. And so, yes, there's a lot of demand for it. Just don't have the capital. And even still, like, even someone like, I got the capital, be like, you want the world's worst return? We could deliver you that, because money's not being really made on the brine shrimp eggs, Got to be frozen the whole time. Also, to get that year's worth, I had to bring in like 7 more giant freezers. So that was part of that cost too, to try and get it all in one go. Oh yeah, I was looking up brine shrimp eggs if we had any at the store. Survey says we have loading. We have 64 of these at the retail store still. So that's good. Some, you can go raid our store for them. I love the Magic Small Fish Feed and the 1 pound. That's right. The 2-hander. Went to the co-op store for the first time to get some magic food. Farmer's Feed in Stockton, California. What a great bunch of people working there, and the Fish Depot guy knew the products. Great place. Well, that's good to hear. Good to hear. You want to hear a crazy stat? We were looking into this over the summer. Less than half of all the RPP stores carry the Magic Small Fish Feed. Blew my mind. I was like, I won't shut up about this food, and it is amazing, but I can't convince stores to give it a try, I guess. So maybe if your local store doesn't sell it, tell them like, hey, if you brought this in, I would just buy it from you. It's amazing. Don't know. Let's see. What's the difference between Magic Small Fish Feed and Easy Fry Food? Squeeze bottle is one, as you mentioned. The fry food kind of sits on the top and then goes down, where the Magic Small Fish Feed will swirl around in the water if you have a decent amount of current going. So it's like neutrally buoyant. We basically keep the fry food around because so many people like it. I think that the Magic Small Fish Feed is just a better food, but we're not. If you think your burritos at your restaurant are better than your pizza, and people have been buying pizza for the last 10 years, you don't force them to eat the burrito. You just go, well, yeah, I'll tell people that the burritos were doing really well, but we still make your pizza over here. You still buy the pizza. That's fine. We still sell you the pizza. But a new customer, have you seen these burritos? You got to get some of these burritos. How many employees does Aquarium Co-op have? I think the last thing I happen to see is that we're around 21 currently. I think is where we're at. Dean's got 65. No, I did. I mean, I did make an announcement like, get some brine shrimp. You're gonna get it, but I don't. Dean didn't get that many. He got. And the problem is like he's like, well, how long are you gonna be out for? It's like, great question. When are tariffs gonna when's that situation gonna settle down? Like I don't. It's real hard to do some business things when you don't control those parts of the business. Like, if I can't set the price, it's real hard to commit to it. I feel like my chat is okay. There we go. It was frozen like a mofo. Maybe it's geeking out. I hate the other chat. Get to the chopper. See if I can get this. There we go. Phew. I think it's updating. All right. When measuring fish to bring to the local fish store, how exactly is 2.5 to 3 inches measured? Tip of nose to tip of tail, gills to peduncle. I say tip to tip. You know, some stores, if you're doing angels, might be like, well, what's nickel, dime, and quarter size? And they typically didn't include the fins. That was his body size. But when we tell people, we say, I want the fish to come in the size I'm selling them at. Because it's real easy to be like, you see this fish in the tank? Yeah, you see that. Are yours that? No. Okay, then they're not ready. If they're like, yes, or bigger, I'm like, great, we'll buy them. We just want to make sure, like at our store, we just don't want it so they're like, oh, I made this fish. And you're like, but that's kind of not that fish yet. You know, it would be like saying, we're hiring someone for Aquarium Co-op. And you're like, I have a baby. Like, that baby can't walk yet. There's no way it can work at the warehouse. So it's like, you need something comparable. And I think the best way we've ever done it is being able to take them to the tank and be like, do you have what's in this tank? And they kind of, well, let me take a picture and I'll compare it home and this and that. And that's been the best way, because when you know, someone else's 2 inch to 2 inch, like, how are you measuring? Does it look like that? Then it is that. Jody P donating 5 membership arenos. Let me see if I can match that by getting over to the right stream, considering I'm 3 streams deep right now. This guy. It's always trouble. I'm always trouble. Matching to 5. Boom. If I missed matching some earlier, let me know. Like, the stream got a little chaotic for me there. Y'all acting like summer's over? We've got at least another 6 weeks of this inferno. Oh yeah, if I start acting like it's over, it'll go on forever. I'm just mostly I've spent enough time outside and I have to work on indoor activities, and so that's kind of bringing my outdoor summer to a close roughly. Will you move any livestock inside from the ponds, and if so, how? I'm enjoying. I don't know. I think there's a chance I've killed all my veil-tail cherry barbs. I haven't seen them even though I'm feeding that tank, so that's not great. But the goldfish could stay out if I want them to, and all the rice fish could. So I'm thinking about putting some more stuff out still, which might sound a little crazy, but it's stuff that can overwinter year round. So it's still warm enough to transition from my fish room to outside, knowing they're going to cool down, right? Where I wouldn't want to take fish from my fish room and just dump them out when it's snowing outside, for instance. You know, I would wait till it comes closer so it's less of a jump. I don't want to, you know, no need for the polar plunge for the fish. Corey, you're an amazing man after all these years of tuning in. Well, thank you. It's been a long time. Never had luck with cherry barbs outside. I've only tried them the once, so I'll confirm whether I've had luck or haven't had luck. My tank's been hitting a constant 85 here where I live. Is that too much for Rasboras? I don't think it's necessarily too much. I think I wouldn't want to see 90, 95. Also, you know, how long? How long is that? Is that like, oh yeah, it's like a week or 2 or 3 versus like, oh man, that was 4 months of that. So I think I'm a big fan of letting temperatures go up and down based on kind of what the home's doing. What I try and do is, like, if your tank's 85, is your house 85? Because that sounds brutal. I would try, opening the windows at night, doing other things, but maybe you like it being 85 in your house. That, to me, I would just be going nuts. But, back in the day, I had like one room air conditioner and my tanks weren't in that room, so I could see how you get to that point. I've been there myself. But I pretty much have always let the fish room get hotter if I don't have to be in it. Like now my office is in it, so I don't let it get super hot, but when like the old fish room, I tried to keep it under like 86. So, yeah, house is 90. Whew. I don't envy that. I would I'd be dying. Someone complimented Steamfot Aquatics? Who's looking for a ban? Banhammer that person. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Steenfot moved out of my state. He's dead to me. He's dead to me. How could you? How could you leave me? If my house was 85, someone would die. Hey, I just realized Candy's got the 7-year coin thingy. And I think Daryl Dimer was in here earlier. Did he get the 7 as well? 7 years of membership? Those coins exist. They should be. I wonder if anyone actually got one yet. I could look. The 7-year membership coin exists. See if anyone's actually ordered yet to get one that has been a member for 7 years. Survey says yes, someone did. One person has gotten one, and it happened it went out Monday. So I'm not gonna say who it is, but I'll know who it is. Not shocked. Not shocked. Yeah. Candy. She's probably counting down the minutes. She had like that New Year's Eve ball drop thing going. She made a custom one so that it would, as the ball dropped, she clicked submit order so she could get the first one for that street cred. Here I was thinking 4 months from 7 years, but I'm terrible at mathing. Yeah, considering you're at 5, you're at 68 months. That'll happen. That does happen when we're writing the code to Adam. We're like, yeah, that makes sense. We're like, oh, wait a second. That's still only 6 years. I gotta change that. The coin drop. A few more weeks. I don't even have one yet. I should probably get one so I can show you guys on stream. So we still got to find a way to figure out what we're gonna do with those misprints. By the way, I will be at the Keystone Clash next month. Look it up, Keystone Clash, Pennsylvania. I'm giving a talk one day and doing a Q&A another day. Zenzo's gonna be there giving a talk, and yeah, we're gonna be hanging out. So if you're within a 7-day plane ride to Pennsylvania, I expect to see you there. So look it up, Keystone Clash. Look up the date. The hotel, like the physical hotel where it's being held, I think sold out of the special room rates. But you could probably pay the extra $10 a night or something and still get a room. If not, get one from across the street. Yeah. Or sleep in the car. Because you're going to fly in, buy a car, and you sleep in it. That's right. Everyone should be at the Keystone Clash. It's my first time going. I'm always jealous when I'm like, oh, all those people are there? You did that there? Dang, why don't I go to this thing? And so I remedied that. When they asked, I said, yes, please. Yes, please. Is there anything in the works for selling your products close to Toronto, as the only place in Canada is so far in British Columbia? No, nothing in the works. International taxes is a nightmare, but do know that April's Aquarium ships to all of Canada. So if you go to their website, you can order it, and it will be on the way to your house tomorrow. So they handle all of the getting it across the border and all that kind of stuff. So we don't have to do international tax accounting. Say hi to me, Corey. I did it. Will the retail store be open on Labor Day? Yes. We'll be visiting from Charleston, South Carolina. We'll be open. Any of the co-op crew attending Aquashella LA? Not that I'm aware of. Doesn't mean they're not. I just don't know of anybody that is. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to build up the stream a little bit. So if you have some grandmas laying around and they have like an old Android, 6 TVs, and a jitterbug phone, get them logged into each one and hitting that like button with the Aquarium Co-op thing. Mostly because I feel like YouTube is kind of dying to the shorts, and I proved it to myself. I put out some shorts, made some go viral, and I was like, oh yeah, that works. That's not fulfilling. Not doing more of that really. Like, not that I'll never make one, but I to make sure, not to make sure, to justify to myself that I wasn't just like, oh, I don't do it. It's dumb because it's dumb. I had to prove I could do it. That way, when I make the decision not to do it, it's not because I can't do it. It's because I don't think it's good for what we do. I like the long form content. I like live streams. I like longer videos. I like the community. I like all those things. And it's not that I don't like people that would watch shorts or something. It's that you don't build that same connection. It's like, yeah, 1 million people watch that, and I don't know any of them, and they don't know me. And yeah, I don't want to build short after short after short after short after short. Instead, I'd rather do, here's this really long video that will put your grandma to sleep. And that's my forte. It's also a mess shipping across borders right now. That is definitely true. That is also true. I'd love to. I just can't justify their shipping fee. Maybe I'll have to put in a big order so I won't have to, for a long time. Yeah, or find someone else local. The reality is getting products from me to you in Toronto, Canada would cost money. Like, that's just, logistics of anything in the world can be expensive. And so, yeah, you have an option. Just, it'd be better if there was a store right next door you could walk into and buy it. I agree. Unfortunately, don't work that way right now. Are there any club or special events happening this weekend? I don't know. I don't know where the good calendar is for that anymore. Maybe is the Fish Fam Link one still kind of keeping up with actual events? I don't know. I haven't been in that sphere, so I don't know. I think YouTube reset some of my subscription preferences. A number of channels set to all changed to personalized, and I didn't like that. Like when Zoom updates and all the settings go wonky. Yeah. So, if you want to see all the videos, you got to click the thing that says subscribe, drop down menu, and click all. Otherwise, you're going to get the videos that YouTube thinks I've done well. And for me personally, what YouTube thinks does well and what I want to watch are usually at the polar opposite. Because I want a super, like Lowell's Fish Lab, a whole video dedicated to auto-dosing paramecium and live brine shrimp. I'm all about it. But from a YouTube algorithm standpoint, ain't nobody want to see that. And so I also have to go out of my way and tell the algorithm, no, I subscribe to this person. I actually want to see this. That's why I did that. This other thing you're forcing on me that I have not subscribed to, I don't want to see that. Otherwise, I would have subscribed. So, YouTube doing YouTube things. You got to reinforce it by participating in the chat, by hitting the like button, by doing a share, by, by interacting with the channel. You become more in its algorithm, and it'll give you more of a chance. It'll be like, hey, do you want to see this thing? Now, if I do something viral, it shows it to everybody. Sure. But if I just fish room update, you got to be a nerd to want to see what I'm doing in my own fish room. And yeah. Let's see. As a longtime marketing and branding guy, I must state the obvious. You have the most successful brand in the space in the world. We are definitely up there. There's other people I admire, though, that do some fish marketing that's very good, I think. I'm always flabbergasted at what the big companies do, because with the most amount of resources, they typically, when Fluval's leading the pack of the big companies in terms of social media, that just doesn't make sense to me. they're tripping. They're like, I don't want to say they're out of touch because they're the most in touch from big companies, but I just don't understand how they can't find people in touch to be like, yeah, you could do the internet things with like an actually touch base. So, like Bulk Resupply did it for a very long time when they were actually in tune and Ryan was there and they were doing, the different series. Like yes, I aspire to be as good as them with equipment testing and all that. And I still aspire to be that. But, now it's kind of like, yeah, well, we hired a couple of people, crank out the publicity videos. I do it too. Buy my crap, right? You got to buy my crap. I work that in. But I also try to focus on, like, hey, this would be interesting to me as a hobbyist. And I'm going to try to do that. So, yeah. But I appreciate the kind words. Looking forward to seeing you talk at the Clash. I'll be there as well. Yeah, I plan on only doing it in sign language. So be brushing up, okay? Dorkula Chihuahua bribes. A guaranteed wonderful time could be yours if only you grant us your presence on the Planted and Enchanted Friday live stream. She's a tough nut to crack. Tell you what. I think it's mostly, I don't know, because I haven't, shy. I'd be shy. I'm still shy. BRS TV was good. It was. It was. And don't get me wrong, I could point, when you point what's the saying? Like when you point at somebody else, you're pointing 3 right back at you. Like I can point at parts we were doing really well in YouTube and where I really thought we were doing some good stuff, and then I can point to low points also. So, they could still turn it around. I had the best time talking with Lowell a few weeks ago. He gave a talk in my local club. Now I'm going to try tackle breeding chili rasboras. Well, if you do it, Alyssa, let us know, because I don't know anybody doing it. I think he's been working on it and struggling. Grab 2 pounds of the community pellet and magic feed. Nolan's Aquarium seems like at Nolan's Aquarium seems like pretty good stuff. Yeah. Am I going to Aquashella, New Jersey? No, I'm not. I am working on trips. So, working on a Kentucky trip, working on a Brazil trip currently. Got the Keystone Clash happening. Working on another trip to potentially Richmond, Virginia next year. But yeah, I'm back in the zone of like, let's take you guys around the world. Basically, it costs insane amounts of money because of tariffs and all that. May as well travel the world and show you cool stuff, because that isn't more expensive somehow. It just is the same as it always was. So, and I'm jonesing to see cool stuff. As I see cool stuff, I get inspired. As I get inspired, some of you guys get inspired. So, yeah. Are crypts still my favorite plant? I do love them quite a bit. I planted more this week. You guys keep sleeping. Every time you guys sleep on it, I buy them. So I brought in one crypt. I mean, I brought in some other plants too, but I brought in a cryptnuri this week. Every week when you guys, like if I get to Monday morning, basically, and you guys didn't order them throughout the week or over the weekend, I buy some because I want more and more cryptnuri. And that's my favorite crypt I have right now. And they come in a tissue culture. And if I let myself, I would buy all of them. You would never get any because I would love the whole room to be filled with them. I want to see if there's any in stock right now. Do we have any cryptnuri right in stock right now? I clicked on plant supplies, not live plants. What a fool. Do we have cryptnuri? Survey says yes, cryptnuri's in stock at $16. With the way inflation's going, 16 you can get a Big Mac or you can get a cryptnuri. I'd get the cryptnuri. Wait, is it actually sold out now? Did someone like literally just buy it? No, it's still there. Have I come to Singapore? Not yet, but that is a trip I should schedule with Benete, and I did a meeting. We did a 3-way call between Benete, myself, and Ryo Wentabi. And so we need to just put some stuff into action. But yeah. Yeah. Notice I've got the Pinocchio shrimp in your tanks. Can you state their pluses and minuses? So I found that the Pinocchio shrimp are good at assassinating hair algae. They're good at that. They're not so good at like cladophora algae or blackbeard algae, but just hairy hair algae or staghorn algae, either one, they will chomp on it. So I actually have some waiting at the store for me to pick up to bring here to work on a couple of the tanks. And so it doesn't take that many to have kicking around, but someone else asked Amano shrimp versus Pinocchio shrimp. Honestly, I would choose Pinocchio shrimp if you gave me the option of the same price at this point. They both will eat it. I like, well, Amano shrimp get a little bigger. I guess I would probably keep a little bit of both. That's probably true. Let's see. What, it's $16 for a Big Mac? Probably in California. Like I'm sure I could find somewhere a Big Mac is actually like a Big Mac meal is probably $16, but you know, I say that now. Fast forward 5 years from now, someone's gonna like get this little clip and be like, "Oh my god, it came true!" Like, yep, that got crazy. What is the wait? What has the first goldfish? Okay, hold on. My brain is not comprehending. What has the first goldfish big tank to show up in your YouTube channel and live streams? The first tank probably was the 90-gallon in my live streams behind me that I had some big chunky goldfish. That's probably the first one. So if you look back at old live streams, that was the backdrop for a while. I mean, originally there was no tank behind me, and then it went to that, I think. I bought it used, and I put goldfish in it. Because I wanted to keep it easy so that it didn't look crappy on live stream. That was basically my goal. It's like, yeah, if you got it's a lot of work, and I gotta, because at the time, you know, at the beginning of the Aquarium Co-op channel, I had to work normal fish store hours. So I worked noon to 8 every day, except for Sunday, we worked noon to 6. And then at noon to 6, or I mean at 6 p.m., I would rush home and I would start a live stream. Well, actually, back then we recorded them after and then released them because we didn't really know how to live stream yet. But then it was that. So yeah, that's kind of the history of that. Do I keep up with Lamont? No. I wish that dude came around though. I wouldn't mind catching up with him. I reached out a few times. He never got back, so you know, could have changed numbers or something like that, or maybe he's not checking Instagram. Like he was never big on Instagram / Facebook anyway, so it legitimately could just also be like, oh, he just quit them forever. Yeah. That goldfish in the background made me buy my Crinum calamastratum. Crinums still are awesome. I can't, at our scale, if I order 500, like 200 will be awesome. No, that's not fair. Like 300 will be awesome. 100 will be like, and then 100 will be rotten. And that just, it's too bad for customers that you send out 100 bad plants. Or they're also expensive. So if we throw them away, it's like, oh, that's a lot of money. So there you go. Large Big Mac meals are $15 in Atreya. Is that like Atreyu what is that? Atreyu! What is that? What movie is that from? Is that Neverending Story? I think. $14.65 for a large Big Mac meal in Australia, or you could have a Crip Nuri. To me, it's no choice. You take the Crip Nuri. Getting down to the final signatures to buy my local fish store. Can't wait to apply to be a retail partner store. Whoa, that's a commitment. I just say it's a commitment because starting a fish store and buying someone else's fish store, that has always been in my mind scary. So, yeah. Is Bob hating on In-N-Out? In-N-Out is the best thing to happen to Bob besides his wife and his daughter. In-N-Out is one should be so lucky to be in the line for In-N-Out. Yeah. That's a rite of passage. Did I ever get any more information about the algae centrifuge in Israel? I think it was the Colors Farm. I'm looking to bring in their fish and brood stock for my fish rooms. No, I did not follow up on that. I don't have any more intel on it other than like what I saw and observed while looking at it. So, gotta go. I'll watch the replay and hit the like. Yeah, hit the like button again because now that we're on stream number 3, because I'm a fool and my computer broke. Maybe that'll help because it's multiple likes. Maybe this is my long con. My long con is I just start talking like trick you guys that it's actually muted. And then I end the stream and start another one, and pretty soon it's like, yeah, I got them to like 7 videos in a row in one day. Scamming YouTube. Can Amano shrimps breed in an aquarium? Yes, I actually have bred them. I've collected larvae, and I tried to hatch them in a Zis brine shrimp hatcher. That didn't work, but yes, they can be bred. Even in freshwater, you can get the larvae, but you do need salty, brackishy water to get it going once you're working with the larvae. 6 years ago, learning from Corey, from fish to plants and everything in between. All right. Been doing it for, I want to say the oldest videos now are 11 years, which is nutty. How much longer until those matin filter pads come out? Ugh. You almost got me. I almost went into a diatribe for like 4 paragraphs on you, JJ Aquatic, because your points are valid for your aquariums, but even then I'm like, I'm still not convinced they're actually better. I realize that you were able to, it works for what you're doing, but for what I'm doing, I'm like, just gotta let it go. Just let it go. Woosah. I don't even know why I feel like I need to correct someone after I've laid out my point. Like it's clearly an illness for me. Like what you guys do, I have, like, it doesn't affect me at all. Like if you want to go with your matin filters that are 12 feet deep, that has no impact on my hobby. And yet somehow I feel the need to try and correct someone. Like, actually, I've been watching a show. We just started it, which everybody in the chat's going to be like, where you been, bro? Where you been? I've been working and busy, I guess. But we started watching a show called Reservation Dogs. And there was one quote from one of the episodes last night, and I was like, I like that quote. I'm sure someone else invented it, but I like that quote. And the quote was, now I can't remember the quote. It's awesome. That's how good it was. Basically, it was just build things instead of tearing things down. And I was like, if we all just live that way, that's actually pretty good. That's a pretty good, like, just way to think about stuff. Build things, don't tear things down. Let others tear it down. Like, I don't know, I could be the guy that builds things. And so I was just like, yeah, I just focus on building things. That sounds fine to me. Let's see. The flat sponge filter, it's nice if your shrimp need a place to hide. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, they're if you're in the member deep in the mulm, there are merits to every filter for sure. But it comes down to preferences. Just like all food will feed you, but clearly we all have preferences on which food we want to eat. So I'll be honest, I love my matin filter pad, but it was harder for me to clean when I had to, and it took up too much space in the side of my tank. Yeah. I mean, like right now we have 30-inch deep tanks at the store. We could run matin filters and like shorten them up. That was actually one of the plans. If like this is terrible, like we could put a false wall in basically. So like it was a backup plan. Could be done. Don't you want a matin filter for that 800-gallon? Maybe that's the answer, right? Maybe that's the answer. To be fair, I have not tried a matin filter in the 800-gallon, so can't say it wouldn't work. How do underground filters been doing in the breeding tanks? In the couple that have finer gravel and I was feeding really heavy, I actually got them to clog up. So that wasn't great. But the other tanks with coarser gravel, well, actually, that's the same gravel. Ones I haven't been feeding as heavy, not a problem. So still doing what they do. Yeah. Have I ever had experience with Mabu puffers living with snails like Nerite snails and Malaysian trumpet snails? Yeah. When they get big and you feed them really well, they get lazy. So half the time they're lazy to spend time eating Malaysian trumpet snails. And then, yeah, they would sometimes just leave the Nerite snails alone. So, yeah, I would. But if you like don't feed them for a week and a half, they start chasing down some snails, in my experience. So you can get them to like, hey, keep that population in check. Building my first breeding rack, 2 rows of 4 10-gallon tanks on end. Any tips for that type of system? Mostly watch our build of like our rack. The only, I mean, obviously, well, I shouldn't say obvious. My guess is you're going 4 and 4 because that's what fits your rack, which is about 40 inches wide. If you go with 5 wide, it's 50 inches, and a 4-foot light covers that really well. So I prefer that. It's like the most efficient you can get. Otherwise, you can go with 36 inch light over a 40-inch span because they're on end. But yeah, it's hard. Sometimes it can be hard to find the right racks, and you add like, I have all these laying around. I'm going to use these. I get it. I got my mollies for more than 6 months, but they still won't breed. I got that same problem with my platinums. The other ones breed no problem, but the platinums, they I don't know what's going on with them. They're on strike. It's not good. Not good. Am I 100% sure that the particles aren't microbubbles sent from a tiny leak in your filtration? It's hard for anyone to be 100% on anything, but I'm as close as to that as you can get, considering I've changed filtration. Like, they used to be FX5s, then they went to Eheims, then they went to a drum filter, and then they've been Tetra pond filters, then they've been 8-foot sump plus 5-foot sump, then they were like, I've tried so many things, it's like it's always been that same thing. And so am I 100% right now that these ones aren't? No. Am I 99 point some percentage? Yeah. It really doesn't seem that way, but you know, it's not like I have not sprayed them down with like a soapy solution checking for, well, I guess it wouldn't even do it. Air wouldn't come out, it would suck in. So I don't even know. I'd have to do it like where I'd have to submerge them in water maybe. And then like you're checking for a crack in a pool where you like put dye out and see if it goes in. That might be a way I could check it, but I'm as close as you can get without setting up a pool to check your canisters for leaks. There's never been a constant between everything. Filtration wise, no. Lighting, no. Gravel, no. Overflows, no. Been indifferent over time. Air source, no. Building, no. Water source, no. Is the only thing the acrylic? And I even had that polished. Like, I paid someone to come in and polish it after Ladybird. What could be constant? Even swapped out all the decor. Yep. Went to a 3D background versus black, and then went back to black. So that's changed. It got better with that, by the way. Like the brown on brown made it look worse. The black helped it, but yeah. I think there was enough ideas of like between the optimizations I want to do and some of the stuff people have brought up, like, yeah, right now I have a path forward of like, yeah, I'm gonna try doing all those things. Let that sit for a month, see how that looks. So I'm hopeful in that regard when it comes to my tank. Could I do some videos on CO2? I'm thinking about starting to use CO2 and do not have anybody to ask about a setup. I have videos on CO2. So am I going to do more? Probably not. I think the best video might be on the More Aquarium Co-op channel. So our second channel. I think that's where that one lives. Like, I've done X amount of stuff, and it's kind of a small topic that I've covered a few times. So I'm unlikely to like, let me do it again. I've got regular sponge filters. Is it fine that I just rinse and repeat with water, or is there another deep clean option I could do? That's what I do. There definitely are people that would say you can't do that, but I've got well water, or my other house had very little chlorine, so I cleaned them under the tap. And, in a big facility, you can use washing machines that don't have any soap or anything like that. You can kind of spin cycle them, but the main way is just under the sink is what a lot of people do. Most of your bacteria lives on other surfaces in the aquarium anyway. And so it's mostly, I shouldn't say mostly, but a big portion of what a sponge filter is doing for you is actually mechanical filtration. My swords have not produced, have had over a year, more food. Like, if you put in 20 root tabs, you need to be 200. Like, there's a direct correlation to Amazon sword growth to nutrients. And for me, and the way I do it, more root tabs equal more sword. And don't be lazy on it. And what I mean by that is not that you're lazy, but like, if it's medium size, put 6 of them under every week. Don't wait for, not every month. Don't wait for it to be like, oh, it's starting to look yellow, I better put more in. Like, you're keeping it from dying. You're trying to get it thriving so much that that they'll make babies. I had a drum filter on my koi pond. It was almost self-cleaning, except when the drum would slow down because the water squirting tubes would clog. I didn't have any clogging in the however many months I was running my drum filter, but it's still not perfect. Still not perfect. I thought it was. I thought I had it. Yeah, I don't photograph birds. I just want to buy them. Yeah. Would your easy shrimp and snails replace the need for cecum equilibrium to remineralize my soft water? As much as I would love to tell you, yes, buy my crap and it will totally do that, there are more nutrients in cecum equilibrium. Now, I could show you that I've been testing and I don't see a difference, but I think it would be disingenuous to be like, yeah, it's or it's just as good. So, like, to prove it to you, how do I prove it to you? Ugh. You can see it right there. I've been dosing cecum equilibrium to see if that would make my Anubias happier. Answer: no, doesn't care. So I use I've got other tanks Anubias that are thriving, and I just use these bad boys right here. I buy them by the hundo and feed them to my shrimp and everything. Oh, that smells like some spirulina. Yeah. But if you already own one of the two, you're probably fine. If you're buying it, I think there's probably a little bit more secret sauce in equilibrium for a planted tank than easy shrimp and snail. That being said, my planted tanks always have shrimp and snails, and I get 2 for 1. I get to feed them, make them happy, and I get the calcium aspect. The clown loach will eat snails, so just move a few of them to the show tanks. They'll be gone in a week. Oh yes, I feed them snails almost every day. I just make way too many, and I get a tank down from like, oh, there's 4,000 down to like just some eggs, and then I get busy, and then I turn around again like 3,000. It's it has been 4 months. Dang it. Like, so I have that. I don't fully eradicate. I get it down to like, I can't even find them. And then I think I'm done, and I'm not done. In the 800 gallon, do you think the wood could be causing a problem? Has it ever been an issue in the past? In the past, I always ran fake wood, and it was still a problem. So could it? So that could be a legit problem, is that something that wasn't a problem got replaced with something that is a problem, but maybe something else I took out that was a problem is now no longer a problem, but the same problem's still there, which I realize is confusing. If I change 2 things and it just flips, I still have the same problem, even though I fixed it. I fixed one and made one. And if I flip it and I fix one and I make one, I still have one problem. So they present to be the same way, but I don't think it's the wood. Now, that doesn't mean it couldn't be. I just don't think it is. And there's my reminder to go add root tabs. Do it right now. Right now. Like, grab, oh, they're over by the tanks. I filmed that video the other day. But, yeah, I don't have any more samples right in front of me. I typically try to keep my root tabs and my easy green, like, out on surfaces where I'm like, oh, yeah, I got to do that. Like, yeah, right now. Or I'll forget. Because if I tell them, I'm going to do that later, I'm going to do that tomorrow, that's just code for I ain't getting done. I got to be like feeding them, like, all right, I'm doing it right now. You know, even if my wife's like, dinner's ready, like, I got to feed the plants or I'm not going to feed them. I'm going to forget. What happened to Ladybird in the 800-gallon tank? Basically, what happened? I was out of town. Like, Ladybirds wanted to, like, stop eating, and then she just, like, didn't eat. And then basically did the thing puffers do where they're like, oh, they're losing buoyancy, and then died. So, yeah, it's a bummer. Because I remember my wife was feeding, which she has done for many, many years over different puffers, and nothing different, just like, huh, that's weird. And so, yeah, I wouldn't blame her. And there's so many things that go wrong. Like, what did you spend $100,000 diagnosing what could have went wrong? Like, no, could have had a heart attack, could have had a bad liver, could have had an internal parasite, could have broke its back swimming. I mean, okay, it didn't look like that, but you know, we watch video to see if something like that happened. Like, we had video on the tank all the time. Like, no, nothing weird happened. Like, yep, got fed, did a thing. The clams that were in there, we fed to other stuff, so it wasn't like, oh, those clams could have been bad. Like, they could have, but they didn't. Nothing else got sick. So, yeah, a lot of times, you just never find the answer to what happened to something like that. You're just like, oh, I don't know, it sucks. Device battery low. Signing off. Just gotta plug that phone in, or I guess device in. Could have been one of the grandma laptop, or not laptops, one of the grandma like iPads. Am I excited for the Keystone Clash? Yeah, I'm excited to hang out with people and get out of my own little lair here. And it's an in and out trip, so do know that. I think I get there Thursday night or something like that, and then I fly out Saturday night because the Sunday flight options were terrible. Like, it was not looking good. It was, one, more expensive, and then two, the flight options were bad. Like, there's a lot of layovers and all this, and then the airports typically are more busy, and then if there's a delay, you kind of get screwed. So leaving Saturday night, I got a lot more options if something goes awry. Plus, at the time, I was trying to limit. I have a bad habit of letting trips get longer and bigger, and I commit to too many, and then I'm like, why did I do that? I'm going to be there for 4 days, and then this, and then that's happening. And so going back to, like, can I keep it short and sweet? Like, hang out with the people, have fun, do what I want to do, and then be home and decompress and get ready to be back at work, like, on Monday. So I feel like my chair's a little, I gotta be, yeah, okay. I was a little off. I was like, why does it look like I'm looking to the side when I'm reading the chat? But please give an update on the ponds when you find time. Even mistakes can help us learn. Yeah. I'm waiting for white filament to try and print in white and see if that'll hold up to the sun, because I'll get a little bit less hot. Do I dilute my fertilizer, like instead of using fertilizer once a week and just squirt daily? I don't dilute it, but you can dose every day. Like, this tank doses every day with the auto doser, same with the 800 gallon. Usually the tanks that I do auto dose, they're big enough where it could be like, yeah, it needs 2 milliliters today, you know, or like this 150, right? Let's say at the lowest dosing level, it needs 15 milliliters. Well, that could be 2 milliliters every day. That would work. And you don't even have to dilute it down. Like, it doesn't do you any good to be like, I'm going to make it like 150 milliliters and then dose, 20 milliliters a day. That doesn't really do you anything. So unless you're with really small tanks, in that case, I just dosed for the week. Like the 10 gallon, like breeder tanks with some plants, and I just dose for the week. It's mostly the bigger tanks that I would set up an auto doser for. Yeah. East Coast trip. East Coast trips are long. It's not long. It's not undoable. It's just it always sneaks up on you. Like, okay, so it's now Sunday. I'm boarding at 2. Like by the time I get home, and then I get to my car, and then I drive home, I'm like, oh, it's 2 o'clock in the morning on Monday? Like, and I left Thursday? Like, dang. Time warp. I lost half a week. Where I'm hoping if I leave at like 5, I think I leave at 5 or 6 East Coast time on that Saturday. I get home around that midnight 1 or whatever it is, and then I can wake up on Sunday going, okay, I got Sunday. What do I need to get done before I got to get, like back in the swing of meetings? Work. I work every day. Like, I'm filming video on a Sunday or something, but there's work and then there's work. There's work where I'm in meetings, and then there's work of like, hey, I got to play with stuff. Does this break? Do I need to make a video? Those kinds of things. I'm really enjoying the Deep in the Muln podcast. Please don't stop doing them for at least a long, long while. Great member perk. That's right. There's a weekly podcast between Randy, Azenzo, and myself every week. We are like 27 weeks in a row without missing one. And we don't plan to stop. We built it with 3 people, so if even one person's got to be sick or on vacation, the show can go on. And yeah, so not bad at all. Not bad at all. Any new product leaks hanging around on the desk? Just this intake, I think. Wait, I dropped it on the floor. I have to dig around the floor to get it. No, I don't think so. There's foods I'm testing. Those ones didn't pass. No. Nothing secret. Like, we've got stuff on the way. Like, we have some new products being made right now that are coming. But they're not on my desk or anything, and not ready to. I think we might have leaked them in the Deep in the Muln. A Navrin 53 coming in with 5 memberships. Thank you. Let me match that generosity with 5 more. By the way, after this live stream, you guys can hang out in Dan's Fish live stream. He's going live at going live in about 15 minutes. In theory, depending if this live stream makes it that long, I should be able to dump you guys right over there. So if you do nothing, it should take you there. Let me see if I can. Can I use my wizardry to make that happen? Let me see. Oh, I don't know if I can do that now that I'm live. Oh wait, maybe. Testing. Let's see here. Can I dump you in Dan's when we're done? I tried to do it earlier, but I didn't have permission. You never know. So, yeah, let's see. Can I add his live stream? By the way, if you use code Aquarium Coop, AQU, well, it's so hard to say it. AQUARIUMCOOP, you save 5% when you buy from him, and I get a little bit of kickback. So you got really nothing to lose. Let me line that up. Is this button gonna do it? Let's see. Let's see if he did it. He did it right, I think. All right, you will be dumped into the Dan's Fish podcast. I also see Susan Moore Guppies brought in 5 memberships. I need to match that. Do that real quick, and I'll grab a question or 2. All right, there we go. I keep Neo shrimp in a half-gallon tank with a half-gallon of water in a sump, so a total of 1 gallon, but only half a gallon of swimming space. Are you asking if you can't? Can you? Yeah, I mean, we're talking like 3 or something like that, like 5. Probably not talking, can I keep 100? Like, yeah, some. Ginger Graves in the house. Stanley Nerdbuckle, which is an awesome name, I might add. Oh, I'm Mr. Stanley Nerdbuckle, reporting for duty. I think I answered your easy fry food versus magic small fish feed in live stream number 1 of 3 of tonight, which is not awesome, but yeah, I won't. If people have been around the whole time, I won't bore them with it the second time. So if you can go to the other one that screwed up, it should be in there. Let's see. Don't send anyone over there. I've got a better chance at the drawing. So yeah, Dan's Fish oftentimes will do a giveaway, which I'm torn on that. It brings people in for the wrong reasons. I love giving back to the community. I just like it when it's for the right reasons. And so I don't want to be like, there's 10,000 people hanging out. Like, oh, giveaway is done. Like, oh, there's 11 people here now. Like, oh, it feels bad. So I hope you hang out for, just learning about his business and learning about fish and the community and chatting. And then, yes, getting a great opportunity at getting some free fish. That's great too, but, yeah. I've been missing a lot of the live streams. Well, I didn't do any all summer, so at least you're caught up when you've seen all the ones there are to see this month, unless you're talking about how I had one screw up and then the next one screw up and then the third one, in which case you're batting 33%. Let's see. A lot of chitter chatter going on. His reason is to clear out something. I mean, that's probably what he tells people, but it doesn't. You would look for like, okay, I need to give something away, and then you go, oh, I should give those away. Like, doesn't need to clear out gift cards. He'll give those away too. So, it is a marketing strategy, and I wouldn't say it's not. It's just, not everything works. Like I would say the $2 pizzas at Pizza Hut, that doesn't work for us. Like, you're burning me out on pizza because it's been like 6 weeks of $2 personal pan pizza. So I have a little personal pan pizza for lunch for $2. And then after like 6 weeks of that, it's like, you want to do Pizza Hut? Like, not really, actually. Like, I kind of pizzaed out. But I've eaten more Pizza Hut in this summer than I've eaten in like the last 10 years combined. So there is that, I guess. Do I have any plans on doing more fancy goldfish or koi in the future? Maybe some koi, not so much on the fancy goldfish. I did that video where I'm like, I'm not, like, I've got some that I got from a breeder with the grow out competition, but not just bulk goldfish or fancy goldfish that are likely to have problems. I'm trying to avoid that because this is a bummer for me and you guys. Bought some multis from Dan's after being inspired and deep in the mold. They're still small, but I really like them. Good. I was considering getting some. I was like, is it multi-time again? Like, yeah, which tank would I set up though? I'm like, I'm on the lookout. So I am on the lookout. If you guys know, if you see it on the internet, I am looking for Parasipochromis nigropinis, the blue neon little cichlid from Lake Tanganyika I want to breed. So, yeah, if you see someone selling groups of them, I want to breed them again. I haven't done it in many, many years, and they just, everywhere I'm looking, like, oh, it's out. Like, all right. What do I look for when I pass or fail testing fish food? The first test is always, do fish go nuts for it? Because you could look at it, it could be like, this thing's made out of diamonds and gold and but if the fish won't eat it, doesn't matter. So will the fish eat it? Do they want to eat it well? Is it different than something else? Do a wide variety of fish want to eat it? If it starts checking those boxes, then it's like, okay, well, what's it made out of? Well, how could we make it better? Or the other things I'd be looking for is water clarity. Does it, have you ever fed a real oily like pellet or something where it's like, ooh, there's an oil slick on the top because it had too high of mysis shrimp or krill content? Like, well, yeah, I don't know if I want that all the time. So those are the first things. Like, what do the fish do with it? Do they love it? Start there. That's where I start. And then after that, then you start going by ingredient and by what does it do long term? Because it might be a real messy food. It's like, yeah, I don't know about that either. I love the tier list on the Mullen podcast. More of that would be great. Well, maybe Randy will grace us with that. That's my one of my things about starting the Deep in the Mullen podcast was I can't plan more in a week, so I just have to show up. If I can show up and you ask me a question, I can answer it. But if I need to have like detailed answers, like nope. So I won't put a tier list together. If Randy's got time, great. He can we can do more of that. But I can't be like, this would be a great one to do. Like I got to put my energy into other places. So yeah. When are you going to be able to send products overseas to Australia? I don't know. We need money. We need money. Like I got to be able to buy enough product. Got to be able to get it over there. Got to be able to do all the permitting. Got to be able to do all that kind of stuff. So I probably need like if I'm being honest, to launch all of our products, not just like, well, we got some over there. It probably takes $750,000 to $1 million to actually pull it off, where you could be like, yeah, I could just buy anything that they make over there. And then there's the whole problem of like, let's say we send a container or two over there full of stuff, and then we launch a new product. People are like, well, when do we get it? Like, well, when we have enough new stuff or resupply to send over there. So it's hard to launch in other markets. So then we also got to spring for international accounting, and that starts getting weird. So our stance has always been like, maybe there'll be a giant player in Australia that comes to us that goes, hey, you sell it to me, I do all of that other work. And we go, great, that sounds great. As opposed to do all the work and then try to, because all that also is a distraction for what, like, there's still stuff I want to do in our own business. So like, not that Australia is any less. It's like, if I'm spending time getting a product to Australia, I'm not spending time getting a new product to America and Canada. If I keep red and orange Neo together, will they still turn wild type, or are they close enough that the color will stay colorful? You'll have many, many years of basically orange and red shrimp, and every once in a while, like a brown one will come out. You could just remove that. You could probably do it for quite a while. So I would say, yeah, I think you'll be pretty good with that one. Let's see. For all the people that got new memberships, do know that we do a monthly talk where you get access to a speaker that we hire. There's the weekly Deep in the Mold podcast. So if you just got a membership, you got 27 episodes of those to watch. You get a 5% discount on the website once you sync your YouTube account with your account on our website. You can get coins long term, other little perks. Yeah, so 300 people watching, but only 170 likes. Gotta hit that like button. Gotta hit it. I need to figure out something in order to get some co-op. Wait, order from the co-op and get some stickers. Most countries you can order from our website to a it's not a transship. What do they call those? Like a mail forwarding service type of business. Yeah, you end up paying for the shipping twice, but they'll do all the customs paperwork and all the stuff that's included with that. And yeah, you end like, that's going to cost me more money. It's a premium, like, and it totally is. I'm just saying it's an option where you could basically set that up this week. Like, hey, I'm ordering some stuff. We got a lot. I wouldn't say a lot. We have a decent amount of people that do that to get stuff into different countries, and it can make sense when freight forwarder. Sorry. It can make sense when you're buying things like a sponge filter and stuff that's going to last for a really long time. Also, we try to make our products as much as we can so they will work worldwide. So it's like, oh, our air pumps are USB. Like, hey, same with the auto feeder. So we try to make it so, like, yeah, even if you're on a different power system, like, just plug it into your type of USB, it'll work. Am I going to be doing more live streams? I hope to be. I want to say, like, the answer is, like, yes, but I I'm not sure I'm on a schedule yet. I'm kind of trying out this time slot because I basically haven't taken a break since about 10 a.m. So 10 a.m. I work with a trainer, 11 a.m. meetings with Randy, 12:30 meetings with Zenzo. Then I do some other work until 3, then I do this or till 4. And then I'll be done for the day. So I'm seeing, does that work out? Will my voice hold out? Will all of that? Because I'm trying to not burden other days. So like if I was a live stream tomorrow, then it's like, I don't want to film because I got a live stream in the middle of the day. I got to get ready for that live stream. Or if I put it today, Thursday is now a free day of like, I could start a video, I could start a project, I could work on something. So we're seeing how this time slot works. I also want to see, of the people who are here, does Dan's Fish get a bump? Because that's efficiency. I love efficiency in life. So if half of you go over to his stream and you hang out and you end up learning to like Dan and you're like, hey, those fish are actually pretty cool, and you buy them and I make a little bit more money, like that sounds great to me. Also, I read a comment now, it sidetracked me. Also, what am I trying to say? I don't know. I forgot what the other also was. But the comment that I read was, unfortunately, I can't purchase an aquarium co-op since I live in Singapore. Can't imagine the cost. There's actually somebody already selling products in Singapore. Contact Benete. He gets stuff brought in, like sponge filters and some other stuff, and he has a business over there, and he sells some of our stuff in Singapore. So you just got to kind of look around to see, it's not every country, but no, I never live stream this late, so my water change starts on the guppy rack. Probably hearing that, and the lights went out. So yeah, that means it's time for Dan. Let's make sure he's live. Someone said he's live. I'll confirm, and then we'll head on over there. And should we do the bombarding? I've never done that to Dan. I don't know if he'll be happy or sad. Usually I go over there and I do a hashtag like what would be a good one? Like hashtag rice fish. So if you go over there, I go over there, and I like to see how many people actually come over. So if you go over there, I'm gonna hit end here real quick, and you do hashtag rice fish, we get to see how effective it is. And it's kind of fun because a lot of times like, what is going on? And it's like, oh yeah, we rated you, like with a bunch of people. So yeah, head over there, which this will automatically force you over there too. Dan's Fish, hang out, see what he's got to say. Hashtag rice fish. There's Shrimp Sanctuary, which is Benete, by the way. Contact Shrimp Sanctuary on his YouTube channel or his website, and maybe he's got some of the products you want to get from us in Singapore already. So yeah, head over there. I'll be hanging out. I'll be eating dinner. I'm having taquitos